Alright, imagine this. You've been diligently saving and investing with Acorns. You've seen your portfolio grow, maybe even hit a milestone you're proud of. Now, you need to access those funds. But, a question looms, how much is this going to cost me? That's the real question, isn't it? Not just, can I withdraw, but how much of my hard-earned money will I actually get to keep after Acorns takes its cut? We've all been there, staring at a screen, trying to decipher the fine print of fees and transactions. It's like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. And in the world of investing, where every dollar counts, those fees can make a real difference, especially when you're talking about withdrawals. Now, Acorns has positioned itself as a user-friendly platform, a gateway to investing for those who might otherwise feel intimidated by the stock market. Their roundups feature, taking your spare change and investing it, is undeniably appealing. But let's be real, simplicity often comes with a price tag. And understanding that price tag is crucial. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of withdrawal fees, it's important to understand the broader context of Acorn's fee structure. Acorns operates on a subscription-based model. This means you pay a monthly fee to access their services, which include investing, retirement planning, and even checking accounts. These fees vary depending on the plan you choose. The basic Acorns Invest plan, which focuses on investing your spare change, is the most affordable. Then there's Acorns Later, which adds retirement planning, and Acorns Spend, which includes a checking account and debit card. Finally, there's Acorns Personal, which bundles all of them together. Each tier comes with its own monthly fee, which is important to consider as part of the total cost of using Acorns. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, withdrawal fees. The good news is that Acorns does not typically charge direct fees for withdrawing your funds. This is a significant point and a relief for many users. You won't see a line item labeled withdrawal fee when you initiate a transfer. However, this doesn't mean there are no costs associated with accessing your money. There are indirect costs and considerations that you need to be aware of. Firstly, the time it takes for your funds to become available can be a factor. When you initiate a withdrawal, Acorns needs to sell your investments, and this process can take a few business days. The actual time it takes can depend on market conditions and the specific investments in your portfolio. During this period, your funds are subject to market fluctuations, which can impact the final amount you receive. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, are the potential tax implications. When you sell investments, you may incur capital gains taxes. If you've held your investments for less than a year, you'll be subject to short-term capital gains taxes, which are taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. If you've held them for longer than a year, you'll be subject to long-term capital gains taxes, which are typically lower. This means that even though Acorns doesn't charge a direct withdrawal fee, you might still owe taxes on the gains you've made. These taxes can significantly reduce the amount you ultimately receive. It's crucial to factor in these potential tax liabilities when planning your withdrawals. Furthermore, consider the opportunity cost. When you withdraw your funds, you're essentially pulling them out of the market. This means you're missing out on potential future growth. If you're withdrawing for a short-term need, this might be acceptable. However, if you're withdrawing for a long-term goal, you need to weigh the immediate need against the potential for future returns. Another point to consider is the type of account you're withdrawing from. If you're withdrawing from a retirement account like an IRA, there might be additional penalties if you're under a certain age. Early withdrawals from retirement accounts can trigger significant tax penalties, further reducing the amount you receive. It's also worth noting that while Acorns itself may not charge withdrawal fees, your bank might have its own fees for incoming transfers. It's always a good idea to check with your bank to see if they charge any fees for receiving electronic transfers. Now, let's talk about the practical side of withdrawals. How do you actually initiate a withdrawal on Acorns? The process is relatively straightforward. You can initiate a withdrawal through the Acorns app. You'll need to specify the amount you want to withdraw and the bank account you want to transfer the funds to. Acorns will then sell the necessary investments to cover the withdrawal amount. You will receive a notification when the withdrawal is processed, and the funds will be transferred to your bank account within a few business days. It's important to plan your withdrawals carefully. Avoid withdrawing funds during periods of high market volatility, as this can lead to significant fluctuations in the amount you receive. Also, consider the timing of your withdrawals in relation to your tax situation. To summarize, Acorns doesn't charge direct withdrawal fees. However, there are indirect costs and considerations that you need to be aware of, including potential tax implications, market fluctuations, and opportunity costs. So, what's the takeaway here? It's not as simple as a yes or no. You won't see a withdrawal fee on your statement, but you will experience the effects of the market and potentially the tax man. Planning is key. Understand your tax obligations, anticipate market fluctuations, and consider the long-term impact of your withdrawals. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. While accessing your funds is important, it's equally important to do so strategically. Don't let unexpected costs or tax implications derail your financial goals. Do your due diligence, understand the process, and plan accordingly. Ultimately, the best way to understand the true cost of withdrawing from Acorns is to experiment with small withdrawals. This will allow you to see the process firsthand and understand the impact of market fluctuations and potential tax liabilities. And remember, the world of investing is constantly evolving. It's important to stay informed and up to date on any changes to Acorn's fee structure or withdrawal policies. Always refer to Acorn's official website and consult with a financial advisor if you have any questions or concerns. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.